And by video link, Rushanara Ali.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I want to begin by paying my respects to all those who lost their lives in the Grenfell Tower disaster, and all those who, their family members, their relatives, who've continued to campaign to protect others in our country. And I also want to pay tribute to all those in my own constituency who've been campaigning, given the large number of blocks with ACM cladding and other safety risks. While I support many aspects of this bill, it's very clear that the government is missing an opportunity to protect the hundreds of thousands of people who need protection. And that's why it's really important that while the Building Safety Fund is welcome, the government looks to provide additional funding for those blocks that are not getting the funding that they urgently need. And while freeholders should, the companies that are responsible should pay, it shouldn't be on, as I've argued time and again over the last 4 years, it shouldn't be on our residents to have to go after them. The government should be going after them. And it hasn't done enough and needs to do much more. Madam Deputy Speaker, when the Grenfell Tower disaster happened, the then Prime Minister said that we should do whatever it takes. We will do whatever it takes to protect our people. And yet, year in, year out, many of us across different parties, including on the governing party, have campaigned, and we're still arguing about funding and support for our constituents. And despite what the Secretary of State has said today, the Fire Brigade Union has spoken about the fact that the Building Safety Fund completely ignores unsafe buildings beneath the arbitrary 18-metre limit. And as the Secretary of State admitted himself, there are still people who are at risk. He mentioned 10 people who've died. 10 is too many. And it's important that this government doesn't create this trend of a callous disregard for human life. That is what our constituents feel, who live in fear, who've had to live in fear over lockdown in dangerous ACM-cladded properties. And in Poplar and Limehouse, we saw a fire in Tower Hamlets in May this year, and it was described, and this is a block with ACM cladding, it was described by the Sunday Times as being minutes away from another Grenfell Tower disaster. And in our borough, there are 291 buildings which remain at risk. And that is why we need the government to take action and to improve this bill, accept the Labour amendments and other sensible amendments that are being proposed to improve this bill. And Madam Deputy Speaker, in blocks like Claremont Court, where Tower Hamlets Community Housing, one of the housing associations, a number of others who've applied for the Building Safety Fund, while we've received some funding, others have been rejected for no good reason. And I hope that the Secretary of State will look at those cases again. Thank you.